The broker has a pitch. Now you get a CPA. This is a test. This is not a lesson. I'm going to ask you 10 questions. I'm not going to answer them. These are the exact questions I ask every buyer who comes to me with a deal. Now, get your deal in front of you that you are actually looking at right now. Count how many of these you can answer honestly, not with I think so. How many of these can you answer with real documentation? Most buyers can answer 3 or 4, and those buyers are just maybe weeks away from making an offer. If that's you, by the end of this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what to do about it. Hi, I'm Jason Schmidt. I am a CPA. I help people buy businesses under $500,000 without making the mistakes that could cost them everything. Now for the 10 questions and your test for today. Okay, question 1. What is the verified SDE from the tax returns, not the broker's summary? The broker's number is a marketing document. The tax return is filed under penalty of perjury. If you're using the broker's number, you may be paying for earnings that, quite frankly, don't exist. Let me tell you about the cost of getting this wrong. And this is what we're going to do in every question. The cost of getting this wrong is the entire valuation. It could be 6 figures on a mid-sized deal. That's a lot. Question number 2. Can the seller document every single add back? Vehicle, meals, phone, the relative on the payroll. Those inflate SDE, and SDE sets the price. Show me the receipts is a very fair question. Watch how fast it gets answered. Sometimes it doesn't. What can this question cost if you don't know it? Tens of thousands of dollars in overpayment for the business. Question 3. What does the monthly revenue trend show over the last 36 months? Not annual totals, monthly. Annual numbers hide a decline. Monthly numbers expose it, right? A business trending down is worth less than the same business trending up, and they have the same annual amount, the same annual sales figure. Let me tell you something. The cost of this to you is you're buying at the peak and inheriting the slide. Are you sure that those sales are going to come back? What are you going to have to do to make the sales come back? Question 4, what does the assignment clause in the lease actually say? Does the landlord have to approve you? Can they refuse you? Can they reprice? This is the clause that kills deals even after you've already signed them. You signed the deal, now you're transferring the lease to you, and the guy goes, no, we got to renegotiate. The cost actually could be the entire deal, plus your legal fees, and after you've committed, a lot of money. Question 5. Will you be signing a personal guarantee, and for how long? If the business can't make rent, they come after your house. Most buyers don't know what they're signing until after closing. Be sure you read the document. This could cost you everything. It could even cost your house. I've seen it happen. Question 6. How old is the revenue generating equipment, and what does it cost to replace? These machines are the business. If you have a revenue generating equipment, and that's what your business is relying on, you've got to know what the lifespan, and guess what? It's not forever. You need to know how much it's going to cost to replace them. Oh, they're in good working condition is a description and a listing. It's not the actual reality, and it's certainly not a warranty. This could cost you easily $80,000 to $150,000, arriving in year 1 unbudgeted. Question 7. What is the real reason the seller is selling? Not the polished answer, like he's retiring, he wants to take time for himself, he wants to spend more time with the family. The real one Is it declining revenue? Is it a lease problem? Is the lease almost out and they're going to have to renegotiate? Is a competitor coming out? Are they burned out because they've had to show up every day and work 80 hours a week? All of that changes the price. You know what you're inheriting? Here's the cost. You're inheriting a problem the seller already knew about. Question number 8. How many hours a week does the current owner actually work in the business? If it's 60, you didn't buy a business. You bought a job with paperwork. Ask it directly. The answer tells you what you really are purchasing. And you got to be careful of that, because you know what the cost is? It could be your life. It could be you pouring in your whole life over the next few years into this business. Question number 9. What is the true all-in cash requirement? Not just the down payment. The down payment is part of it, certainly. Closing costs, professional fees, working capital reserve, equipment repairs reserve, and 90 days of your personal living expenses. Most buyers calculate one of those 6, but not all 6. Then all of a sudden, they run out of money in month 3. What does that cost you? A good business failing under a broke owner. You have a good business, but you don't have enough money to keep it going. Undercapitalization is one of the biggest things I see that hurts new business buyers. It happens a lot. Question 10, what is your walkaway number? If the price gets above this number, the deal no longer makes sense to you and you got to walk away. Decide that before you negotiate. A buyer who can walk away negotiates from strength. A buyer who's already emotionally committed talks himself into a bad number most of the time. What's the cost on this deal? The deal you should have never done. That's the cost. Now, count them up. How many could you answer on the deal you're looking at right now? With documentation, not just guesses. With actual documentation, with actual numbers. 7 or more, you've done some real work. Finish the rest, and you're in good shape. 4 to 6, you have some serious gaps. And you're probably closer to an offer than you should be. 3 or fewer, stop. Stop. I'm not saying forever, but just stop moving toward any offer until you close these gaps. And here's the truth. Here's the sad part, and it's very true. Almost nobody watching this can answer more than 5 on a deal they're working up right now. And that's not failure. That's not been taught. You don't know what you don't know. Let me tell you something. The broker is not going to tell you this, and the seller certainly isn't, because they want to close. If you couldn't answer 3 or more of these about a deal you're actually looking at right now, you need to book a call with me. And that's what this call's for, right? It's a 30-minute call with me for free, no cost, no obligation. I'm going to ask you these questions and more, and I'll tell you honestly where you stand and whether I can help you or not. It's free. It's 30 minutes to make sure you don't make a big mistake. Now, I'm not going to analyze the deal for free, and I'm not going to talk you into anything. If the deal looks solid and you've got it handled, guess what? I'll tell you that too. Everyone else in your transaction gets paid when it closes. The broker gets his fee. The seller gets their money. The lender gets their fee. I'm the only one who gets paid to tell you the truth. Deal or no deal, straight up. The link is in the description. Book a call. It'll be 30 minutes. I want to tell you something else. This checklist that we're going through here today on this show is in my community on school.com, Firewatch Business Lab. You can join that for free too. 10 questions. If you can't answer them, you're not ready. And that is fixable. It's only fatal if you find out after you've signed the deal. Listen, it's not about finding a deal. It's about avoiding a bad one.